One, two, one, two,
All right.
There we go. All right, Billy D here with another amazing pre-Cal Jam podcast. Thanks to our great sponsors. God, I love J. Dollywall and Vox Life. Have you tried the new Neural Socks yet? You got to try those out too. Also to all the other sponsors, including Life University and Brad Glowacki, who always helps me out as well. But I want to just send a lot of love to J. Dollywall at Vox Life, the neural tech of the future. All right, so we got my buddy Dr. Hilliard on the line. Real quick synopsis of what we cover on the full-length podcast. We started with that you're into hyperbaric, and you've been into hyperbaric how long?
About 15 years now.
Okay. And you graduated from Life College in 2004, or 2007? 2004.
2004, yep.
And you were a big follower of my good friend, Dr. Sid Williams.
Yes, great mentor of mine, great man. Yep.
Well, if there's one thing you would say about him, that how he affected you, what was it?
Man, of course, it was the lasting purpose. I lived my entire life for the lasting purpose. That's it.
That's it.
That's what it all boils down to give, to do, to love, to serve, without expecting anything in return.
Right. That's
Yes,
an
sir.
amen, brother. All right, so we were talking about the statistics, and of course, we initiated the conversation about hyperbaric, but this is going to be the short version. If you want to hear the whole thing, you can listen to the link that we've attached below. But in 2007, we really didn't even have Alzheimer's on the top 10 list, and then 2008 was the first year it made it there. We're going to see an ever-increasing amount of people stricken with not only Alzheimer's, but more and more cognitive disorders. Why don't you briefly discuss how the hyperbaric will probably help eliminate or prevent some of this cognitive decline, but also is it possible to reverse some of that as well?
Yeah, that's a great question. And of course, hyperbaric is definitely going to be able to help heal the nervous system. Every time you get in that hyperbaric chamber, it's like getting the breath from God. Things start waking up. And hyperbaric is not just for physicians to treat patients, but literally, to me, it's like a lifestyle. I'm getting in my chamber 2 or 3 times a week, 1 hour to 2 hours each time. Because why? Because there's so much toxics that are out there. There's so much bombardment of not only just physical toxins, but radiotoxins and what have you that are affecting our bodies, that are affecting our health. That I'm just getting in the hyperbaric chamber as much as possible. But not only that, I'm trying to tell as many people as possible how great and wonderful using a hyperbaric chamber is and how it can change your life.
Okay. We also talked about the difference in the pressures. So you utilize a mild as well as I do. I bought one at Cal Jam, and I didn't buy it for my patients. I didn't buy it because I want to treat people. I bought it because it's part of my lifestyle too. I eat super healthy. I use hyperbaric. I exercise today. I exercise every day, really. And then I've been sleeping. And it helps me with sleep, too. That's the biggest thing I've noticed. But why don't we discuss the difference in the pressures and where it's going to be indicated and contraindicated and what conditions are better set for a higher pressure unit and a mild pressure unit?
Great question. So with the mild pressure, you have a mild pressure, and then, of course, you have the higher pressures. Anything over 1.3 is going to be considered a higher pressure. Most hospitals or clinics are going to use a 2.0 or higher, and that means 2.0 ATA atmospheres, so that's 2 atmospheres or double the atmospheres of normal. That mostly takes care of just 13 conditions, and that's going to be gas embolism, that's going to be diabetic wounds, burn victims, severe bacterial infections like flesh-eating wounds and what have you. So there's a very small population.
Now, will those be affected by mild as well, or what?
Well, hyperbaric. This is how I like to say hyperbaric works. Hyperbaric works just like filling up a bucket of water. That I can turn on the spigot a quarter turn, and that bucket's going to eventually fill up, or I can turn it up a full turn, and it's going to fill up faster. The exact same thing with oxygen saturation within the body.
Got it.
Hyperbaric goes goes with the law, which is Henry's law, which means a gas under pressure will dissolve in fluid. The gas is going to be oxygen. The fluid is 70% of your body is made of fluid, is going to start to absorb that oxygen. So if it's under a higher pressure, your body's going to absorb that oxygen at a quicker rate versus something that's a mild chamber.
Okay.
That's why I get in my chamber a longer duration, and sometimes I even go more often, or I recommend for my patients to go, our frequency and durations are always changing depending on my patients and what they're presenting.
Perfect. And one of the other things we touched on is the percentage of oxygen that's in air today is not what it used to be pre the Industrial Revolution. Do you want to touch on those numbers again, or you want me to get those?
So, of course, in the air today, they say that in a perfect environment, we have 21% oxygen. Of course, now there are studies that are coming out in the metropolitan areas and the high-density populated areas. That's even going down to between 17 and even 11%, like we said earlier. Of course, 100 years ago, even 60 years ago.
You're breaking up again.
In the air,
can you repeat what you just said? I lost you for a little bit.
The quality of air was.
Repeat what you just said.
The quality of oxygen.
Yeah.
Yep. The percentage of oxygen was at a higher percentage, as well as the quality of air, of course, as we know, was better. With that being said, when you get in a hyperbaric chamber, you're not going to get that 21%. You're going to get that 96% oxygen. And with that, with breathing air, just 7% of your body delivers oxygen, the amount of blood. With hyperbaric, 90 or 70% of your body delivers oxygen because that's all of the fluid. And that's the remarkable aspect of hyperbaric, that the fluid delivers the oxygen and not just the red blood cell.
Okay, so you're saying the plasma does as well.
Yes. Okay. Interstitial fluid, synovial fluid, cerebrospinal fluid, all become supersaturated with oxygen.
Wow, I didn't know that. So I'm learning something right now I didn't even learn on the first podcast.
Yeah.
All right, we talked about air quality. Yeah, let's talk about, and we have a decrease in photosynthesis. We also touched on 5G a lot. You think that's going to create like a lot more nerve problems and brain problems and cognitive decline. So again, that's going to be another reason why we want to step up not only chiropractic, because chiropractic helps feed the brain health food, as I try to teach people, but also we want to increase oxygen levels for better healing and better, really just regeneration and almost to some degree life extension is the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. I mean, right now oxygen is the key. That's where they're coming. Either we're going to die by the air or we're going to live by the air and the oxygen. So how much clean air can we get? How much clean oxygen can we get in our bodies to help our nervous system function better, help our bodies function better? And of course, couple that with chiropractic care, you're talking about a 1-2 punch combination that's going to help promote and synthesize abundant health within somebody that's non-invasive, non-toxic, that literally can be done within any one of our offices. So now more than ever, chiropractors are empowered literally to make the difference in the world. The medical system has failed. People are starting to wake up to that. That's what we've been preaching for the last 100 years, from DD to BJ to Dr. Sid, and how the system is killing us. Well, now they're starting to wake up to the success. And just like what kept chiropractic going, even when the destruction and the destructive powers of the medical industrial complex was coming in, was what? The patience and the results is what saved chiropractic. The exact same thing is going to be with this hyperbaric and oxygen therapy.
Okay, cool. 2 more questions before we wrap it up. One is, does the air that comes into the chamber, is it filtered? And are you using any type of oxygen concentrators in the stuff you use?
Yes, we use an oxygen concentrator. So that oxygen concentrator will pump out 96% oxygen right there.
What the hell is that?
That was my computer telling me my computer's going low, but it's not going to say it anymore. But anyways, the oxygen concentration coming out of an oxygen concentrator is 96%.
Okay, how much did one of those gigs cost?
About $1,500.
Okay, so I could get one of those from you.
Yes, sir. No problem.
You will notice a big difference in that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep. But
is the air going to be cleaner than the stuff that we're breathing? I mean, is there some type?
Because it's going to go through several filters. One, of course, is the nitrogen filter, because 76% of the air is nitrogen. So it's going to clear out that, but also all the inert gases and some of the other pollutants and irritants, because it does have a.
Okay, is that something that's in the concentrator, or is there something separate that's in the unit?
It's all in the concentrator itself.
Okay. All right, so I need to get one of those.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd like to pay off the friggin' thing first, but you're going to help me. So I also asked you, since I have a unit here, about the whole marketing program. Why don't you, we'll save that for, make them listen to the entire tape to get that. But if they want to get in touch with you about more things, where do they get in touch with you, Dr. Lou?
Real quick, I can show anybody, any one of the chiropractors, if they wanted to buy a hyperbaric chamber, I can show them how they can pay that off before they even get the chamber in their office.
Well, show me how.
Okay, well, I will definitely do that. And then also they can get a hold of me at docloveslife@yahoo.com. That's DOCLOVESLIFE@yahoo.com. Or call me at 770-948-4511.
Very good. He's a New Yorker. I had to make him slow down a little bit. All right. So, and let's say one thing, because sometimes we might have some hate straights on here. I bought the machine. You bought the machine because we want a better health for ourselves. And what I've always done with everything that I utilize, whether it's eating healthy or exercise, I teach people in my practice. I know it's not chiropractor. I know I'm not treating anything. I'm just up-regulating the body to a normal status where it should be, because of the fact that we're deficient in oxygen, we're deficient in nerve flow, we're deficient in healthy foods, we're deficient in exercise. And if we supply the body with what it innately needs, you're going to have a better chance for not only better health, but also a longer, healthier lifestyle. Anything you want to say in closing, my brother?
That's what it's all about, man.
All right. So if anybody's interested in listening to the entire conversation, hit the link down somewhere. I don't know. We'll figure out where. And you can get hold of Lewis by the numbers he left. And it was a great talking to you. I want to talk to you about getting the concentrator. I'm going to sign off right now, and I'm going to call you right back.
Okay, sounds great.
Cal Gym is something you just have to go to, where if you really want to get reinvigorated, reignite your fire, and then stay on purpose with it too.
Rock and roll party where you're going to learn, even if you're a layperson, you're going to learn something. You're either going to learn a little bit about chiropractic, or you're going to learn a little bit about what's happening in the world today. And the two of them will come together, because I believe chiropractic is very important. I had cancer, and my chiropractor is standing right here with me, and I believe that you need your whole body aligned to recover from whatever illness you have.
It's awesome. They have to come. They learn a lot.
It's not boring. It's going to be something that actually gets you motivated. It's different, and that's all that, most people come out here, it's the same thing. That's why I'm here a second year, and I'll be here next year.
Uplifting, informative, empowering. There's a lot of softness that happens too. One thing that I realized last year when I came was that my mindset was completely wrong in my child's healing. I was so angry still. And I'm like, that's okay. One thing that all the speakers have in common here is their mindset. They really believe what they're saying. And if I'm going to recover, and then I realized if I'm going to recover my daughter, I really have to believe it, and I can't be pissed off, because that's not how healing happens.